Hello, my name is Helene Hall and today I'm going to be talking about how thoughts create our reality. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you in and around the comments. So with all the updates in quantum physics and genetics and epigenetics, understanding the conscious mind, the subconscious mind, what we understand today is very different to what we understood when a lot of the core foundation of what we believe today has been defined by their basic theories. So really what we should understand is that we don't understand what we don't know, and that we should be ever evolving our understanding and learning about the reality in which we live in. So there's been a lot of investigations, a lot of scientific testing to really understand and to get to the bottom of quantum physics and epigenetics. And what that shows us is that there are some major changes to what we perceive is in control of our life and our reality, like such as the holographic universe, the belief that our genes rule effectively our health, and understanding that there are much more important or bigger parts to play that we didn't before understand or knew that they existed. And what this really boils down to is that our own thoughts, the information that we have within our subconscious mind, our beliefs and our patterns or programming have a large part to play in the life that we lead. And whether that's our health, our money, our happiness, or success, it is a core foundation as to whether we are happy, whether we are healthy, whether we are successful. And as you trace that back, a large part to play is within the thoughts that we think and the beliefs that we have. So there have been lots of studies over the years, and I'm sure that you're aware of some, but just to mention a few, let's just talk about the placebo effect. Now, one of the things that was very surprising to me when I became a medical rep is that when testing whether and this is many years ago, because I'm now no longer a medical rep, but when I was and I was training, understanding that to approve a drug or its efficacy, its effectiveness, you had to do it against a placebo. And the reason, and the placebo essentially means, for example, if you're taking a pill that is an antihistamine or a pain reliever, a placebo would be a pill that has nothing in it. So effectively, you would do a trial with a control group of people that are taking the actual medication, and you do a trial group of people who are taking a placebo, a fake medicine. Now, what's really interesting is that the placebo is incredibly effective. Now, what does that tell us, right? That in itself should send off some major flags, and it has, and that's why we're developing, or rather why science and epigenetics has really been exploring this over the last decade, really, is to understand what really is the key to our health or our bodies and its progress rate. Is it what the traditional medical industry would be, such as chemicals, or is it information-based medication or therapy? So with the placebo effect, about a third of people will receive the same benefit without the side effects of taking a drug. So for a drug to be approved, it has to be even more effective than the placebo in a specific trial. So we set that aside for now, just to see, okay, what really governs the placebo? That's probably the power of our mind and our thoughts. Now, a second one to that is sports and athletes. Now, what do? They have tried and tested many different processes, but a lot of that comes down to their inner beliefs that they can achieve it. Their repetitive visualizations, their repetitive visions of seeing them achieve their goals, of hitting a hole in one, or scoring a goal, or putting a ball into the basketball net. All of these different elements have a very positive impact, and as such, I haven't actually read the book Poor Dad, Rich Dad, or Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I haven't read it, but I understand that the principles from what I have heard are very much the same, which essentially says that if you come from a poor family, the likelihood is that you will be poor. If you come from a rich family, the likelihood, doesn't matter what poor decisions that you make or bad decisions you make, you're still going to result in being rich. And if you came from a poor family, that doesn't matter what you try to do, you're going to essentially self-sabotage yourself to staying in that poor level. And that also goes to the same kind of sayings of you are who you hang around. The 10 most, or the 7 most, or the 5 most closest people in your life, you are the product of their thoughts and their behaviors and their beliefs. So beliefs have a massive impact on our life. And we really need to wake up to this fact, because this is the key to our happiness, our health, our success. And it's really important to try and actively try and get into understanding what are your thoughts, what are you thinking, what are your unconscious programs, or what is your subconscious mind telling you in your quiet moments, or when you're concentrating on something else. So it really is true, is if you believe you can, you can. If you believe you can't, you can't. So you really need to take 100% responsibility for your life. And once you take responsibility, you can then spend time to think, okay, what do I want to achieve? Where am I now? What do I need to do to get to where I want to be? And as part of that is understanding your programming. So looking at your family, the people that are closest to you in your formative years. So from 1 to 7, what kind of beliefs, what kind of thoughts, what circumstances did you have around you? Who are you hanging around now? What do you want to achieve, and does that reflect where you currently are? And if it doesn't, what is that difference? So it's effectively split into 2 parts in the way that I see it. You either want to release, and effectively it's most likely both of these. So to release whether it is a traumatic experience that has got you to believe a certain way, or whether it is unconscious or subconscious programming from your childhood and from your surroundings. So effectively you want to reprogram those elements and put in the program that will help you achieve what you're wanting to achieve. If it is more of a traumatic experience that's got you to believe a certain set of rules or beliefs, then you'll want to spend time to release those beliefs. And if it's more of a subconscious beliefs that you've grown up with and that are surrounded by, you want to spend time to really effectively look into what are those beliefs, what are those underlying thoughts, and actually interrogate them to see, are they accurate? Is that really true? And do you really want to be believing those things? And either way, bring that to light, and that will enable you to start reprogramming. So you can reprogram through a couple of different means. What I really want to touch on now is self-hypnosis, and that is simply repetition. And how does your subconscious mind learn? It learns through repetition. That's how, as a child, we learn and we listen to everything, and we adapt and we absorb and we take in. So our subconscious mind is the mind that when you go to sleep and you're in a different brain wave, that is the subconscious mind, and you can reprogram it by one, repetition, or listening to a new program, as it were, as you fall asleep once your conscious mind has switched off. And you can do this through affirmations, or you can do it through listening to your affirmations as you fall asleep or in the background throughout the day, but also to hone in on and find out what is holding you back, what are those subconscious beliefs, and do you want to continue believing them? So you really are your own prisoner, or you really are the key to your freedom. Everything starts and ends with you. And I've learned this effectively the hard way, but it's not so much, once you realise and once you take responsibility, it's not really the hard way. It's giving you the keys to your own freedom. And to be fair, there's nothing else that feels more exhilarating than you understanding that you are the key to your own success. So how I would recommend that you proceed from this point is to really first find out what it is that you've got to deal with. So what's your thoughts, your feelings, and start listening to that unconscious chatter that goes on in your mind, and specifically around the things that you want to achieve. You'll then want to outline what you actually want in your life. So what are the intentions that you have? Where do you actually want to be? And then understand, where does your subconscious and your thoughts and your intentions, where does that differ? Where is there a disconnect? And what do you now need to do to effectively reprogram that? So once you understand, one, what your thoughts are, what your feelings are, your subconscious mind, and therefore what you want to achieve in your life, you can then start reprogramming. And you can do that through releasing the elements that are holding you back. And you do that by looking into them and seeing that actually most of those beliefs that are holding you back, you can clearly see that they're not true and that it's not real. And that actually, if you look at it, you are worthy, or you're not XYZ, or you are not your past. That actually today, the past does not exist and you're just here now, ready to move forward. You don't need to carry on the weight and the burden of the past. You can move forward as a brand new you, because your past is not here. It's gone. So looking at it that way really does give you some freedom to move forward and to create the life that you want. The main step really is to start in that reprogramming. So once you've uncovered it and you decide where you want to go through your intentions, it's really about outlining how are you going to do that. Are you going to start monitoring your thoughts and stopping yourself saying anything negative, and are you going to replace that with a positive thought, whether it's faking it until you make it, saying I am happy, and feeling and cultivating that feeling. What would you feel like if you were happy? What would you feel like if you were healthy? What would you feel like if you were successful? Really getting to the point where you have those emotions, but also using repetition to feed that into your subconscious mind, whether that's through affirmations or through programming as you fall asleep. And another major one really is, this is just the beginning. So seek to learn more about this and just realize that this is the first step on your way to your happiness or your success. And there's a whole host of other things that once you've understood and once you've seen results from this, that the door will open and that you can achieve far greater. So I hope you found this interesting. Please like and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you around.